History is not a dusty scroll. It is a living scar, a tapestry woven with threads of glorious conquest and the deepest, most abject despair. We celebrate the victories, yes, we build monuments to the heroes, but beneath the gleaming armor and the heroic sagas of empire lies a darker, more chilling truth. A truth forged in the unforgiving, white-hot crucible of war, where the line between absolute order and catastrophic chaos was razor-thin. In the heart of the Roman Republic, an empire built on the back of the sword, discipline was not merely a virtue, it was the sacred, unyielding foundation of their survival. Without it, the legions, the greatest killing machine the world had ever known, would instantly crumble into dust. And when that discipline faltered, when the paralyzing fear of the enemy was shockingly eclipsed by the terror of their own commanders, Rome possessed an ultimate, terrifying, and monstrous answer. They called it decimation, a word that in its very sound conjured images of dread, despair, and crushing finality. Derived from the Latin decimatio, meaning simply removal of a tenth, it was a punishment reserved for military crimes so grave they shook the state to its core. Cowardice, open mutiny, were the kind of catastrophic operational failure that threatened the survival of every single Roman citizen. Stop. Imagine the scene. A Roman legion, perhaps 5,000, perhaps 10,000 men strong, suddenly breaks. It shatters. It runs like a frightened herd. That meticulously trained, unyielding machine buckles under the weight of an unexpected charge, a cunning ambush, or simply the cold, gnawing fear that consumes even the most battle-hardened heart. The line snaps. The eagle, the sacred embodiment of their very soul, is abandoned, lost, disgraced. Shame, disgrace. In the eyes of their commanders, the consuls, the legates, the high command, this was not just defeat. It was a profound, personal betrayal, an operational failure so heinous it demanded the most absolute, most terrifying of retributions. They believed, truly, that it was better to be slain by the enemy than live with the burning shame of cowardice. But Rome ensured that the punishment would be far worse, far more psychologically damaging than simple death on the battlefield. The order would be delivered. The guilty legion would be stripped of all command and assembled not in its neat centuries, but in a vast, silent, terrified throng on the muddy parade ground. The air would be thick with the smell of sweat, earth, and pure, concentrated dread. Every man knew the potential consequence. Every single man feared it absolutely. Then the chilling, clinical ritual would begin. The legion would be mechanically divided into small, doomed groups of 10 men. Every 10th man, chosen by lot, would face the ultimate sacrifice. No trial, no appeal, just the cold, impartial hand of fate reaching out to decide who would live and who would die for the collective failure of the legion. Imagine the sheer gut-wrenching terror, the unbearable anxiety as the lots were drawn, small polished stones pulled from a rattling urn. The frantic, silent prayers offered up to Mars, to Jupiter, to any god that might avert their gaze. For one man, the blessed, almost unbelievable relief of reprieve. For another, the immediate, crushing, soul-destroying realization that his time had come. His luck had run out. His life forfeit, not to a sword, but to the cold, unforgiving standards of discipline. But the true horror did not end with the selection. For it was not the executioner's axe wielded by a distant professional official that would claim these lives. No, the chosen 10% were to be put to death by their own comrades, by the very 9 men they had fought alongside, bled with, shared their meager rations with across countless lonely campaigns. This was the true cold genius and the ultimate, most chilling depravity of decimation. It was a calculated poison that seeped into the very soul of the Legion, infecting every man with the knowledge that his survival depended not just on his own courage, but on the ruthless, immediate compliance of his fellows. It was designed to shatter loyalty, to replace fraternity with raw, desperate fear, and to instill absolute, unquestioning obedience through the most brutal means imaginable. You were no longer just a soldier. You were an executioner. You were a horrified witness. And you were, by the mere fact of your survival, guilty. The cries would echo across the camp, the desperate pleas, the sickening thuds of stones and clubs. And when the ritual was finally over, 1/10 of the Legion would lie dead, sacrificed not to the enemy's steel, but to the relentless, unforgiving standard of Roman discipline. The survivors, forever scarred by what they had seen and what they had done, would carry the weight of that day for the rest of their lives. A legion that had once wavered would, from that day forward, fight with a ferocious, desperate determination born not just of courage, but of an absolute, crippling terror of repeating their failure. Though mercifully rare, its very existence served as a chilling deterrent throughout Roman history. Crassus used it against his mutinous legions during the war against Spartacus, a desperate, brutal measure that crushed rebellion and solidified his command. The cost was immense, the human price unforgivable, but the message was universally clear: fear your general more than you fear the enemy. But at what ultimate cost to the human spirit? What kind of empire, what kind of military could justify such a clinical barbarity? Was this truly discipline, or simply state-sanctioned institutional murder designed to permanently break the human will? It remains a chilling reminder that even in the pursuit of rigid order, power can descend into the deepest, darkest abyss of cruelty. Centuries have passed since the last whispers of decimation echoed across a Roman encampment, but its shadow lingers in the deepest corners of military history. It is a profound testament to the unimaginable lengths that authority will go to enforce its will, to maintain absolute, total control, even when that control demands the ultimate sacrifice, not just of life, but of the very bonds of trust and brotherhood that tie men together in the face of death.